Help support the channel by buying the 1TB Destiny 2 PlayStation 4 console bundle today. Affiliate link below. Hey, what's going on, everybody? My name is Matt Jarbo. This is $3 Theater, and last night I sat down to watch the highly contested Death Note on the Netflix. Now, this live-action adaptation, and I want to really stress that it's an adaptation, very much is one that is being just destroyed by critics. They're not liking it at all, and I knew that going into the movie, but I still wanted to give it a shot for a couple reasons. One, Adam Wingard is a good director. I like his previous films, You're Next, The Guest, Blair Witch, and I'm looking forward to the upcoming Godzilla vs. King Kong or King of All Monsters, whatever it is they're going to call it. I don't know yet. But this dude's been working his way up through the ranks for quite some time, and this was an interesting film for him to tackle. But it is one that does kind of, I seem to think, falls in line with the type of movies that he makes. But like I said, critics have been bashing it. Fans of the manga and the anime have been hating on it. I am one of those few people that actually enjoyed what Wingard put together, for the sheer fact that it was not the anime and the manga, because those things, I haven't read the manga, but the anime is one of the most depressing things I have ever freaking witnessed. It's good, it's very good, but it is like so heavy and so dramatic and so depressing at times. You're like, oh my god, I couldn't finish it. I tried like crazy. This is like 10 years ago. I couldn't do it. So I was excited to see, and I watched the first of the live action films, by the way, too. So I just don't remember much about it. I think the kid who was in Battle Royale starred in it or something like that. Again, a long time ago, whatever. But the plot line to this one is different than the plot line to the original, which is that Light, and his name is Light in both the original and this adaptation, Light Turner, is a high school kid living in Seattle when he gets the Death Note. Just falls out of the sky and lands right there next to him, and he decides to take on crime with his cheerleader girlfriend Mia, and thinking that they're doing something good. And of course, along the way, it gets complicated. You know, when becoming a mass murdering asshole gets complicated, it's going to be complicated similar to this. And then you have competing forces. You've got Elle, who is trying to stop him, and you've got Mia, who is trying to control him, and then when that doesn't work, trying to take it for herself. And then you've got Ryuk, awesome Willem Dafoe playing Ryuk, just sitting there the whole time. Whenever he does pop up, more or less is kind of laughing at it all, which I thought was actually pretty cool. He did a good job. The movie is an hour and 40 minutes. It's definitely R-rated. If it was rated, it's just rated TVMA according to Netflix. But and the thing is, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed what I saw because of the difference. Now, I don't want to compare it to the original. In the original, just for storyline purposes, Light always felt he was smarter than everybody else. Light always felt that, you know, this was given to him and he could become a god with it. And that is in part of, you know, like that's what he did, if I remember correctly. And this one, Light gets this, I guess, as a gift, and he wants to use it to right wrongs. He doesn't want to be a god. He wants to use it to save people who can't be saved, who otherwise wouldn't be saved. You know, and this all has to do with the fact that his mother was killed by somebody, and his dad, who is a police officer, just, you know, kind of let it go. And there's that frustration there of, I guess you could say, like the legal system not working in the way that Light wanted. And then when being given this opportunity, you know, to strike back against the guy, the mobster who killed his mom, he gets the opportunity to. And that's one of those things that kind of ties into the overall narrative. Is Light is not battling against his own desire to become a god. He starts off with noble intentions. I'm going to kill people who are bad, Boondock Saint style, so on and so forth, and use this book to do it. And he ends up bringing in Mia, a girl who he has a crush on, and her desire, and it's her lusting for power that kind of brings him to the point of where, you know, it all goes tits up. Now, what I will say, though, is I enjoyed the opportunity, or I enjoyed the sequence in the film when they are working to stop crime and they create the god Kira, because that is something that you would feel would happen, right? We're sitting here, we're watching, if this was just real world, for example, if we were watching people around the world die mysteriously and then writing the name Kira in blood on the walls or whatever else before they die in multiple countries and multiple continents, we would sit there and go, what the is going on, man? And then as a result of that, you know, people would start to think there's a god out there and there's a god that is saving people by taking out the bad guys. And there would be you know, there would very much be kind of like a following based upon that and whatnot, which is essentially what he was crafting here, doing this as a way to kind of mask his crimes. This is where L comes into play. Now, L was a very enigmatic character from what I remember, and this time around, I think they really botched it. I will admit they kind of botched L, and I mean, then they botched Light if you are looking at it from the perspective of the anime, which I'm not. Like, this L's character, like, feels impulsive while also trying to be controlled. He speaks really fast. I know it's meant to be his kind of like his intellect is meant to make him so smart that he will just rapidly speak, but there's not a lot of backstory there. And that again is the big problem with this movie. It's an hour and 40 minutes trying to fit probably at least 4 hours of content in an hour and 20 minutes. And that was definitely, I think, the pitfalls of the team here, is that the production team, whether it was Netflix or whether it was Adam Wingard or whoever the freaking writer was, they had a problem trying to really bring this thing home in a concise way. I think given the script and given what Adam Wingard was given, he definitely brought his style to it, but you could almost tell that there wasn't probably a great deal he could do, you know, to make it better, to make it crazier. You know, this was probably more of a little bit more of a controlled issue due to the popularity of it and everything else. Again, the lack of development on L's character made me really not care so much about you know, Watari, his buddy, his mentor. It's kind of like his father figure that they use to get the information on L. You know, when he died, it was kind of just, it felt kind of dumb. You know, like he goes to New York, he goes to this orphanage where they were raising kids to be the world's greatest detectives. Again, no backstory on that information. And when he told that to Light didn't even at one point go, I'm sorry, can you say that again? What are we up against? Like, I mean, granted, to be fair, he has a death god with him that has this book of omnipotent killing. So it's kind of like, you know, really, he's in no real place to ask those questions. But at the same time, the audience is just like, I'm sorry. What? That was, again, there was content that was there that you could tell they lifted from the original stuff and they peppered it throughout. And if you are a fan of the original and you catch that stuff, you're probably going to get it. But as a person who is coming into it cold, you know, you may not understand it. Like, it starts off, my girlfriend was into it. By the end, she was kind of half in, half out. I enjoyed it all the way through because, again, I liked the morality dilemma from that. Like, is it okay to kill these people? Is it okay to be this person? Is it okay to do these things if you're trying to do them well? And then, of course, what do you do when you're trying to wrangle it back from somebody who you trust, who you love, who wants it for their own personal gain, which is what the whole Mia situation was. And that was very interesting to watch play out. So I enjoyed what Wingard did with it. The climax was kind of, again, because of the rules of the book, they have the ability to influence people for 2 days. It kind of became this big, elaborate Ocean's 11 setup that Light was able to do, and rapid thinking about it, everything else. And I get it, and it worked out well. But I like the ending of it. I like the ending of it where he's in bed, you know, he's in the hospital. He wakes up. He's talking to his father. His father figures out that it was him. And, you know, and then, of course, Light found one page out of the Death Note L found one page out of the Death Note, and we don't know as he writes Light Turner's name on it and everything else. But I would assume probably not, because he wants to understand it before he wields it. That's kind of what I took from that. But ultimately, it opens up to the fact that they're open for a sequel. And so a lot of people out there are probably going to look at this and go, no, we don't want a sequel bad. I look at it and I'm all like, you know what, sequel, give us a sequel. Give us a sequel to flesh out the rest of the stuff. Give us a sequel to flesh out Light's character, to flesh out Ellis' character, to give us those backstories that should have been there in this movie. If we get a sequel to it, then we have the opportunity to really go deeper into these characters, and that is where I think a lot of fans might come back around. I talked to a lot of fans online who hated it. I've talked to other fans who felt that it was a decent adaptation, albeit an adaptation, and not the source material, and they weren't expecting the source material. And that's the other part of it too. I think people going into it thinking it's going to be what we know from the anime or what we know from the live action movies. It's not. It's an adaptation, and it's different in that regard. And again, it's a movie I would say probably is a one-time watch. But if it was on, or if it came on randomly on Netflix or something like that, I probably would watch it again. Because I enjoyed it, and I would recommend that you guys give it a go for at least one time, and then just go from there. Anyway, what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. My name is, of course, Matt Jarbo. This has been 3 Buck Theater. I'll talk to you guys later. Have yourself a great day. Peace out. Well, gang, that wraps up this video. Be sure to leave your thoughts below in the comments, as I love to read them. Also, if you guys want to support the channel, links below in the video description. We have Patreon, PayPal, Amazon affiliate in the beginning of the video, as well as Bitcoin now. During the apocalypse, anything helps. I greatly appreciate it. I will talk to you guys later. Have yourself a great day. Peace out.